To start with procedural content generation, we need to get plugin. First, let's just create the new folder. I'm going to call it just PCG and open plugins and search for procedural. You will see 4 options to select all of them, and probably the Unreal Engine will ask you to restart the engine. I already did it before, so I don't have to make this step right now. I can start creating PCG. Go to the PCG and select PCG graph. Let's name it PCG underscore forest. That will be our first PCG system. The way you're going to create PCG is very similar to Blueprint or actually the materials. So you will see the output and input node, right? And when you right click, you can bring more different functions and different nodes to your project. Okay, so I'm going to start from input and I'm going to look for the get landscape data. Because we are going to create this PCG for landscape, we need that node. That's the base one. Second one is going to be surface sampler. Connect both of them. Okay. I'm going to make this window smaller so you can actually real-time see the changes in PCG. Next, you need to add PCG to your level. So reset the position of it, and I'm going to increase the scale of it, right? As you can see, we see kind of the volume, the orange one. So let's go like maybe 60-60. It will be fine just to see the back preview. Okay, and when you click D on your keyboard, you will instantly see the back preview. When you press E, you will activate or deactivate the specific node in your graph. It's really worth remember that. So what we can change in a surface sampler? For example, we can change the point extent. So as you can see, when I decrease the value, it will generate much more points for our system. And also you can notice 2 different colors, basically the gradient of color, right? So from white to the black. So white will be the biggest possibility of actually projecting specific mesh or specific object. It doesn't have to be mesh, it can be actually anything. Okay, let's go. Next one is going to be density. We need to add the density nodes. And density noise will appear as an attribute noise. That's correct. Now I turn off the debug on sampler and I turn on the noise to show you how it will affect. Okay, next one is going to be density filter. So you will see the lower bound and also upper bound. Just try to play with these values and you will instantly see difference. Remember to debug the node you want to check. Because if you change the values and you keep debugging on another node, actually you will not see anything. Okay, another one, it's going to be transform points. That node is very important because it will help you control your meshes inside the PCG. We are going to create the forest, so we need to understand this node. So you have different values, right? For example, we have rotation, minimum and max. To add more variables, I like to make the maximum rotation on z-axis, set it up at 360 degrees. But there is one more thing I wanted to show you. Now you will see some points colliding with each other. And that's not actually something I want to have, because imagine situation, it will look like one tree is on the top of another tree. So what we can do, we can actually fix that. We can use the self-pruning node. Okay. And once you debug this node, now you will see there is some kind of the distance between specific meshes, the same type of the mesh. Also, you can change the radius of it and also the pruning type from large to small, or maybe you prefer from small to large, okay? The best idea is just to test different settings and find out what works for you. Okay, so basically we have the simple setup ready. Now we need one more node, which is called static mesh spawner. Here we are going to actually spawn our meshes in our level. Let's just save it. Okay, I will turn off debug by clicking D on your keyboard. I can close it for now. And you remember we added this European tree pack to our project. So you have two options. You have Pivot Painter. If you have stronger GPU, you can go for it. If you don't have so good PC, you can use just simple wind option, right? Again, convert all of them to nanite to save performance, and you will have different sizes of the trees. So basically, the first 3 trees are going to be very, very big one. Then we have a smaller one as well. You have sapling. So I'm going to show you how I like to work with them. But before, I need to see all of them. So what I usually do, I always add these meshes to the level just to see them and to decide where do I want to use them, yes, in which system. If you're going to add them to the level, it will take some time to actually compile the shaders. I did it before, so I will just speed up the process. As you can see, it takes a lot of time because they are high quality meshes, all right? So let's just add all of them one by one, so you can understand how to work with the PCG the right way, okay? So basically we are going to divide it to 4 different PCG systems, okay? Each of them will be similar, however, they will have different variation. So the biggest 3, I think they are too big anyway for our level. So we're going to scale it down inside our transform point node. I'm going to check what scale is supposed to be fine. I think like maximum 0.7, 0.8, that should be the maximum for these trees. They are quite huge. And I like to have more density in our forest. Okay, it looks great. Once you plan it properly, you can start adding your meshes to your PCG graph. Okay, now search for this tree. And I'm going to add the field 01, and then I will probably start with the forest 03. That will be another system. Forest 07, Forest 06. Then we'll have 4 saplings. Okay, now when you go back to the static mesh spawner, you will see post-process function as well, but this is not the right one, my bad. We need to go to the meshes. Let's just organize it a bit. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Sorry, my bad. We need to go to the mesh selector, okay? And click mesh entries. We need 4 meshes. So once you click indents, you will see option for descriptor. And here you can add the static mesh. And let's just add them one by one. As well, you will see option for weight, which will change the priority of specific meshes. Okay, and instantly you will see beautiful forest. We need to work a bit with different parameters to make it exactly how we expect. However, you can see how fast and how easy it is to create something with PCG. Manual way, it will take you probably a lot of time, probably hours. Okay, now I will click E just to disable this node. And for the second PCG system, I will add our big trees into that one. Okay, I'm just checking which one's supposed to be correct. Yes, we have 4 of them here. As you can see, we started with number 03. We can add one more. I'm going to add both of them. Forest 07 as well, going to add to this PCG system, and we're going to add one more. Number 08 as well. They are, as you can see, they are the highlighted, the smaller one, but it will give us a lot of really nice variety in our forest. Instantly, it looks much more natural. Okay, one more thing, I'm going to change the scale, and the beauty of PCG is that you can change anything anytime you want. Now we will add a lot of variety to our meshes. As well, I can change the upper bound, which will decrease the density of our forest. Another option is looseness. If I go for 5, as you can see, maybe 2 I think will be pretty good for our example. Looks much more natural. Keep in mind, we are going to add also the big trees in the second system. And all the trees and the sapling we are going to add to the same PCG graph, okay? There will be just another variation of the nodes. I'm going to show you how to organize it the right way.